welcome to the Hobby Desk. I'm your host, Josh Shoebridge, and that is right, I'm wearing headphones. This is Season 2, I know, of the Hobby Desk in the bunker. Now, you may be thinking, Season 2, Josh? What is this hypocrisy or majesticness, or I don't know. It's late.
Your words, man. Use your words.
I know my words are there, but they're not. And again, I am joined by our one of our many co-hosts, maybe the main one for this season, hopefully so.
The best one, really.
That's
Let's
right.
be honest.
That's right. This is the great Thomas Heffernan. How are you, Tom?
I'm very good, Joshy. Yourself, mate?
Oh, mate, I'm recording. I love it. It's fantastic.
That's it. Now, like you said before, though, we're not exactly in the bunker now, are we?
No, we're not. You want to explain where we are and why we're here?
Right. First of all, we're in my kitchen because our studio is not ready in time because reasons beyond our control. And the reason we're here, can you not figure it out?
That is right. We're here to discuss a very specific thing, which, again, there is no mystery to what we're discussing. We haven't mentioned it yet, but before we do, I just want to get into a few things. Just remind everyone of our social media. You can find us on, again, on Facebook. Will be on the screen there, facebook.com/The Hobby Desk, or you can send us an email at thehobbydesk@gmail.com. Now, today's show, we're discussing specifically Warhammer 40k 8th edition, and also a subscription competition for our viewers, our fans, many people who actually want to take the time to listen to us and watch us. And
all three of you?
Yes. So we will get to that part of the episode after. So, basically, Tom's here. Tom is basically the rules guru when it comes to 40k. He was like that in 7th, 6th, 5th, 4th.
Way back to 4th, man. That's when I started.
Yeah. So, and I started in 3rd, but I left it once Lord of the Rings strategy battle game came out.
Such a good game, that.
Oh, it is. It is. The original stuff was always good.
Just on point, that entire game. Actually, forget this. Let's just talk about Lord of the Rings.
No.
Okay.
So, do you want to give us a brief rundown of the rules? So, like, just very brief. Like, what have you noticed about the rules?
Okay, so instead of needing a book like this for the rules, these are your rules. There's about 8 pages. Every phase of the game, instead of having several different rules and interactions in the main core, is now just 3 or 4 dot points of step-by-step instructions on how to resolve the phase.
Now, have you noticed anything that's sort of like linked to, say, Age of Sigmar?
Yeah, if you've played Age of Sigmar, I think it's pretty much just a 40k veneer for Age of Sigmar.
Okay, so obviously there's been a lot of like controversy when it came to Age of Sigmar when it first came out. Especially when I say that, I'm not saying internationally. I'm mainly saying that to say like people I play with when I play fantasy. I play square base, and then when the whole circular thing came out, that was such a like, you idiots! Why the hell would you do that?
Yeah, well, see, I think the issue with when Age of Sigmar came out is it felt like an incomplete game. Because I mean, I think it was maybe 8 months afterwards, they released the Generals Handbook, which had all the point values and rules to play semi-competitively.
Yes.
And that was the main issue that a lot of people had with the game, because I remember hearing a rumour how if your opponent had more battle scrolls than you could just elect to remove one of their battle scrolls from the game. And
wow.
in tournament play, if it's when you kill the enemy general, you win. I heard this rumor that one guy was just fielding like a single demon prince against an entire army. Just the minute they're deployed, I'm just going to kill your general. I win the game.
That sounds like a real dick move.
Yeah, but that is raw, man. That is rules as written.
Yeah, true. So again, there has been, I don't want to say the word controversy when it comes to 8th edition. I think it's like the actual opposite. I've noticed that, especially on social media, on all the wargaming sites, there's been people coming up saying 8th edition is what's getting me back into the hobby. Are you finding that the rules for you is something, it's like rekindling your passion for 40k?
Absolutely. And I think the vast majority of the reason for that is the way Games Workshop's marketed it.
Yeah.
So if you when Fantasy died and they brought in Age of Sigmar, there was just, there's going to be a skirmish game. And I'm like, no, it's not. Why would it be? It's never been a skirmish game. And then out of nowhere, Fantasy's dead and it's a completely different game.
Yeah,
That felt like a betrayal.
It did for me, specifically for me, because a year and a half prior to Sigmar coming out, I got into Fantasy pretty hardcore.
Yeah.
Well, thanks to you.
Oh man, it's still a great game. Don't get me wrong.
Thanks to you, and it was like I sunk so much effort into my Tomb King's army, and then when the End Times rules came out, I thought, yeah, this is pretty cool. I'm digging the large characters, Nagash being one of my favorite fluff characters.
That's another reason why I was like, no, they're going to just expand into something larger. It's going to be more of an apocalypse feel because they were bringing out all these characters that were just devastating, like Orgoth Demon Spew for Chaos.
That's it, and they should have kept it that way, and they should have just added more armies or did such.
I don't think they need to keep it that way, because what they've effectively done with this is they've just trimmed it down to an Age of Sigmar-esque proportion.
Yeah,
but it wasn't a shock.
That's it. Well, what I'm finding, and this is what's in front of me now, is that they've released another fantastic 2-player starter set. Get people into the hobby. It's not that expensive if you look at the amount of stuff you get in the actual box. There
is so much in this box. So much. It's taken me 2 nights to build it.
We will get to that. So, staying on the rules for a sec.
Yep.
Main changes you've seen to 7th. What have you seen?
All right, so obviously Initiative's gone.
Yep.
That's out. We all knew that was coming.
That was the bane of my existence. I hated it because every army I play, initiative value is always low.
Yeah.
I play Tau. They're never initiative.
No, Initiative 2, Orcs Initiative 2, Necrons Initiative 2.
Yeah.
Now, whoever charges wins. Like, they're going to attack first.
Which makes sense.
It does to a degree.
Unless there's a rule thing to saying quick reflexes. Say, Khan the Betrayer, if he had a rule that said he's watching you run at him, well, he's going to have his axe ready to chop your flipping head off.
Yeah, well, but I mean, it does, so it makes sense in the game. But what I like is they've also put in the stratagems, which can upset the way the game's normally played.
Okay. That makes sense to me.
Yeah, so what it is if you're charged by, and it's a unit that really needs to attack first because they're not going to be there next round.
Yeah.
You can spend 2 stratagem points to counterattack. And what that does is that gives you the initiative in that combat. You'll strike first.
Okay, no, I get what you're saying. Yeah. So, in regard to these little points thing, is there anything else that's going to happen when it comes to victory points at the end of the game, or have they changed all of that as well?
No, it seems. Well, look, at first blush, I'll be honest, I haven't had a chance to go over it in too much depth. But at first blush, it looks like if you want to play your classic 40k, adding up all the points, doing the kill points that way, that's still there.
Yeah.
Because they've got just narrative play, which I believe is just bring whatever you want to the table and play, go nuts.
Sound like that.
Yeah. Then they've got power, which is just super simple. Just add it up to whatever power value you want.
Okay.
Then it has points where you add every model, the war gear it has, and any additional stuff that you want.
Okay. So when it comes to your models and that, have you noticed if it's gone back the way of a unit has a specific use, or is it going the way of, all right, if you've got the biggest hero, you're going to win?
Every unit has a use now. Absolutely every unit has a use. I'm looking at every model in here and I'm just seeing potential ways to play. Because by now I've watched a couple of games online from leaked box sets, and every time I'm looking at them going, oh, that's pretty neat, but they can use the poxwalkers like this instead, and I think you get a better yield out of this box set doing that.
Yep.
But at the same time, the board changes, the generals changes, the deployment changes. There's 6 different deployment maps now.
That's cool.
Yeah,
I like that.
Yeah, so it's not just your classic Dawn of War, Vanguard, and I forget the Valley one where it's you're coming in from the edges.
Yeah.
It's not like that anymore. Now you can have a no man's land with a triangle shape coming up the center of the field on either side. And there's other deployment maps as well. It's just whoever wins the roll-off gets to decide the deployment map.
See, and that's how it should be.
Yeah, but so it's not, oh, well, obviously you can just say we're going to play Battle On. But if you've got a particularly close combat army against a shooting army, whoever wins that roll-off is going to determine the pace of the game.
See, that makes sense in a tournament setting.
Yeah.
So it's you've got the rise of, it's as strict as you want it to be. So in a tournament setting, or you can have it as friendly as you want, say down in the backyard in the shed.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it just looks awesome, man.
Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to it. So this new set we've got in front of us.
Yep.
How many models come in the actual set?
53 models, man.
Holy crap. That is nuts.
It is insane. And what also gets me is it's not like your regular snap fit kit.
Okay, so it's nothing like the McCrag set.
It's similar.
Or Dark Vengeance.
It's similar to those two things.
Okay.
But how every Marine in Dark Vengeance, if you got 2 box sets of that, then that's, every model's going to look the same.
Well, the thing I found not with Dark Vengeance, with McCrag,
yeah,
it was you literally there was nothing you did to the Space Marine's torso or his legs. It's
they're static.
You pushed a gun into a hole. So
Yeah,
it was a good way of teaching 14-year-olds about the birds and the bees.
Yeah, well, like the Lord of Plague, I think his name is, but he's standing on a group of Nurglings.
Yeah.
That group of Nurglings is 3 pieces.
Wow.
Yeah, so there's actual modelling, like a bit of built-in and construction goes into it, but at the same time, it's like baby's first kit.
Well, that's how it should be. It should be an intro to modelling, not an intro to playing Legos.
Yeah, so there is potential to make mistakes, but it's pretty foolproof and pretty straightforward, I think, to put them together. But at the same time, like I said, it took me 2 nights to build them.
Yeah.
And that's 3 or 4 hours a night, so I didn't really go hell for leather. But normally, I remember the McCrag kit, I had that built in a couple of hours.
Yeah.
There was nothing to it.
No, well, that's it. And I think when it comes to 2-player sets, you want to have them built fast, but not too fast. You want to experience the hobby.
Yeah, exactly. But if there were 2 people here, you'd have it built in a couple of hours and playing games.
That's it. So for what you get in the box, you get the models. You get 53 models, as you said. You get a rule pamphlet.
Yeah, just all the core rules in that.
You've got these 2 little codices, very, very, very slim down codices.
It's just all the rules for the models you get are there.
Yeah.
So I think Games Workshop's going to continue with that trend of having all the rules with the models you buy.
Which makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense to me.
But it's not going to be a massive hindrance if you wanted to get info on all the other armies, will it?
No, man. Indexes.
That's it. And the indexes come, I think there's 4?
5. Is it 4 or 5? Because there's 2 Xenos, 2 Imperium, and Chaos. So yeah,
that's 5.
That's 5.
So there's 5, and which slims it down from something crazy. It was getting into the 20s.
Oh man, I think I had Space Wolves, Dark Angels, the Actual Marines, Grey Knights. So that's 4. I think was there another one? No, it must have been just before. That's 4 codexes just for my Space Marines.
Yeah, and it's nuts, but it's simplified to a point where teenagers who don't have a lot of money are going to be able to get into the hobby easier.
Yes, but there is something else.
What is it?
So right now the indexes are more of a stopgap.
Oh, that's so you can play, isn't it?
So you can play, but the codexes are going to make a return.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
So you can, if you choose to, you can get into the fluff. You can get into the real meta game, so to speak.
What I think is going to happen is the codexes are going to have all these additional rules, like what Age of Sigmar has done. So remember how I mentioned the stratagems before?
Yes.
Yeah. What I think is going to happen is if you say there'll be like a Primaris Ultramarine, Primaris Space Marine.
That makes sense.
Yeah, codex. But in there, instead of having just the three stratagems you can pick from the book, there'll be additional stratagems unique to that chapter.
See, I like that.
Yeah, so that's good. But it's one of those things where you're not going to get those rules unless you own that book.
That's it. So, looking at the models we've got here on the table, we've got the models, we've got the books. You don't get this. This is just
that's with it, man. That comes with it.
Are you kidding me?
I'm dead set. You get the book.
No
you get the,
way.
Yeah.
So you get the pamphlets, and then you get the. This is what I call the rule decider. It's not necessarily what's in it; it's what you can do with it to do if there's an issue.
It's a book you can really cave a skull in with.
That's good. And that's what I call a rule book.
Yeah, and so like I said, these are the core rules, but in there's also like the advanced rules.
That's it.
And so I was just flicking through there, and the advanced rules aren't so much like the special rules or whatever you might be thinking of from the last edition. They're just more like here's additional rules for terrain.
Yeah.
Here's additional maps and deployments and that kind of thing.
So that's good.
Yeah, and like
That's simple.
like Cities of Death, I think I saw was in there.
Wow.
Yeah, I haven't really had a look. Like I said, it's very, very fresh, this kit.
See, well, it's good. I'm liking it so far. So getting to do we know a price?
$220 Australian.
That's like if you think about it, 165 is what Dark Vengeance was.
I think it was 180 when they brought out 7.5.
That's right, yeah, because it went up a little bit when they changed the rule book in the box, and you'd have two rule books, the one that came in the box and one you got over the counter when you took it up to the counter at G-Dub.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and that wasn't then there was still a fair bit of models in that kit.
It was, but you had 10 tack squads, 3 Raven Wing, 5 Death Wing, a captain, and a librarian, and I think there was a chaplain in the special edition.
Yes.
And on the other side, I think it was 20 cultists, a Hellbrute, a Chaos Lord. I can't remember the other. There was
a bunch of stuff there.
Yeah, there was more to the kit.
And there was some trainer. No, there wasn't trainer.
There wasn't trainer.
No, there wasn't trainer. They don't do train anymore, which is ridiculous. Is there train in this?
There is no train in this.
So G-Dub, there's something wrong with your box set.
I'll tell you what, man, I can live with it because terrain is not the end all it used to be.
True.
But it is still like you need the terrain, but it's different mechanics now.
Yeah. So you do get whippy sticks, don't you?
You do not get whippy sticks.
I suppose you got the Skull Crusher here. What do we get? What do we get?
All right, so instead of the whippy sticks, you get this little see-through ruler, which it's nice.
It looks more compact.
Yeah, well, not just that, you can actually put it over the mole and
see what you
see. So there's that. Obviously, you get the dice.
So the dice look cool. I like how those little white ones.
Yeah, no,
I like how they're legit.
The dice are nice. The dice are very nice. Obviously, you get your how-to book.
See, I like how they're doing the how-tos now.
Well, so this has got
it's in colour.
Yeah, this has got the way to build, but it also has a little painting guide,
which works well for you.
It does work well for me.
But speaking of that, you're not painting them that way.
No, I'm not. But hang on, just before we jump onto that, with alternate painting schemes as well.
Oh,
So it's not. They're not just throwing you in the deep end. They're given, like, if you're going to get this for someone who's never been in the hobby, they can learn and go, oh, sweet, we've got a how-to guide on how to paint.
So that's worth its weight in paper there.
Yeah, like, that's awesome.
I'm loving it. So have we missed anything? I don't think we have.
Codexes, the rule book, 53 models, dice, how to build, how to paint, ruler. That's it.
Any qualms with any of the moldings? Or any of the buildings?
I've got one serious qualm. Actually, I might even put it up to a thorn in my side. Is these jump pack squads? They are awesome models, but what's happened is they haven't got the traditional male-female clear plastic. It's actually just a little curve, and it just sits on the back of the jetpack.
So are they saying that you should magnetize that, or
no? Because it's literally just a little bump on the back of the jetpack that they sit on.
Okay.
And so they sit on like that. So to glue these in place, if you're going to glue them, you need to paint that model before it goes on the base.
So that's something for new, because that's our next point is for newbies who are getting into the hobby. If you're going to be getting into how these things go, there's going to be ways and tips and tricks on how to actually paint these guys.
Oh yeah, there's some things you need to know before jumping in.
And as we will go with the show, you will have some instructions coming out soon, hopefully.
Will I?
I'm hoping you will.
Oh, okay.
Cool. I'll be leaving the camera here for you to do that.
Excellent.
Awesome. So, working for noobs, as I said, I've come into this blind deliberately. I have deliberately stayed away from reading the rules, seeing what's in the box. I have watched one battle report on one of our favourite websites. I won't plug them yet because I don't know if they like us yet or not. But
Who's not to like? We're charming.
I'm of the same faith as
I'll take it back. I'm charming.
yeah, screw you. So I've deliberately done that for a reason. I want to actually look at it and go, okay, is this going to be easy for someone coming in? And I have a wargaming background, but I'm also looking at it as, say, someone who's been away from the hobby for a number of years. And my first glance, I'm going, yep, I'm liking it. I'm liking how this is going to turn out for people coming back into the hobby and for people coming to the hobby for the first time.
It's so much simpler than what they did, than what they've done in the past. There's no charts like the old wound charts and 2-hit charts. It's now you hit on this, you will wound on. They still have like the comparison chart.
Yeah.
But it's simple. Like if your strength's equal to their toughness, it's 4s. If it's greater than, it's 3s. If it's double their toughness, it's 2s.
How good's that?
Yeah, and it just goes the same way in the other direction.
Yeah. That's
So super simple. There is you really have to try to mess that up.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So, any other things that you want to say in regards to this particular kit?
No, man, the kit is on point. I will just say that when you're doing the captain, I made this mistake. Paint him with the cloak off, so sub-assembly, because it is a nightmare to get him in there when he's on that base.
That would be a pain in the backside, actually. I remember doing that with the captain from the McCrag set.
Yeah, but I couldn't help myself. Like I've been waiting for him. I'm just smashed him out, and then I've looked down and going, "Yes, this is awesome." Oh Lord, what have I done?
That's it. I know what it's like. So again, I love it. I'm loving it, and I'm not just saying that because I like Games Workshop. Actually, personally, my personal opinion of the company is rather minute.
I was pretty dirty on them too, but this is like I can't say enough.
If they're going to get, if this is how they're going to get the hobby, the only thing I would love them to do is just lower the price a bit. That's the only thing. But saying $220, you've got a rule book that would retail for say $90 roughly.
I think that's 98.
98.
I think it's 98.
And
Australian.
Just going off how much models are costing us at the moment, this is good value for money.
Well, so you take you get 7 Plague Marines. If you get the ones the G-Dub has now, that's $72, I think.
And that's like 5 or 10?
No, it's 7. Like
7.
You get
Wow.
7 Marines. Because that's Nurgle's lucky number or something, I think. It's either 3 or 7.
I don't know.
But, so you get the 7 Marines, that's $72.
Yep.
You want some cultists, or you want just like, well, we can't get cultists, let's just say Caddy and Shock Troopers as stand-ins.
Yeah.
$50 a piece.
Oh, it's more than that now.
No, Caddy is $50 a piece.
No, they're not.
Pretty sure.
I was looking at a box set the other day and it was like 70.
Well, it's turn me. No, it's not.
No, I was like, oh yeah, I want to get some. Oh, what
No,
the hell is
no.
this?
I'm drawing the line in the sand there. They are not 70.
Okay, well we will find out.
All right, we'll debate this at a later date.
Yes.
But for argument's sake, we'll say it's 50.
Yes.
So you get 2 squads to do the Poxwalkers. There's $100. You're already up to $172.
Yes.
You know, that's not even including the book or anything else in the kit. So it's the kit is really cheap for what it is, but man, I just love it.
No, it's good. Like it's good value for money. It's like it's not crap models. They're actually quite like you're looking at them, you can tell the way of they're not sculpting the traditional way anymore. They're definitely doing it online on the computer and then 3D printing masters. That's what it looks like to me.
Yeah, well, all these heroes here, I wouldn't be surprised if, say, 6 months down the line, you get them in the blister packs as the exact same plastic kits, just in case you do want to buy the starter set. Yeah. Because they're that quality of model. It's not just your snap fit models. They're the blister pack quality.
That's it.
Which is awesome.
It's fantastic. I can tell you now that I'm sold on this set. Can't wait to get my hands on one myself. just a reminder for all those who are watching, we have our social media, so look us up on Twitter, Facebook. All the links will be in the description below. Also, we'll have a chat show that'll be up on Saturdays, which will be a podcast, so definitely subscribe to the podcast. Link will be in the description. Other shows that we are in the process of creating, they are not 100% up yet, so we're not going to announce anything until they're 100%. Please stay tuned, because there'll be multiple shows coming up on this channel that'll be war game specific. We'll also have stuff to do with creating, so just builds that are not that. Gel ball blasters for us in Australia who don't get to play with airsoft,
but still want to shoot your mates.
That's it. Painting, battle reports, fluff and creases, all that sort of thing. We're in the process of nutting out what's going to happen for 2017. You have anything else you'd like to add?
No, I think I'm pretty happy.
You're happy?
I'm happy.
Awesome. So audio will also be available as a podcast on the Hobby Desk podcast show. Stay tuned for updates on that. Patreon as well.
We're going to be having a chat in a minute on the podcast about more in-depth stuff with the rules too, aren't we?
Yes, we are. Yeah. So we're going to be talking about in-depth rules. We're also going to just be chatting about whatever comes into our minds, because that's usually what happens.
So if you love what I'm doing and can tolerate Josh, definitely come and listen to me and hear my spots.
That's exactly right. And mind you, it is a spot. If you are a person who requires a safe space, don't subscribe. Don't listen to anything we have to say on the podcast. All right, thank you guys. Thanks again for taking the time. Definitely, again, as I was saying before, Patreon, check out their Patreon page. Everything that I've said in social media and everything is in links in the descriptions. Keep sucking those oranges, people, and you get on gaming.